Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's Sync Sports Bets here, and in today's video, I got 4 player props for the college football Week 2 slate. Super stoked to get into these picks here because so many players hit their under last week as Prizepicks and all the other betting apps put their lines way, way too high. Like Arch Manning, for example, and a few other handful of players hit their unders, and I do feel like it's kind of way too high yet again for Week 2. So towards the middle of the season, they'll start to get, a better line for them. But at the beginning of the season, you got to smash the lines hard because it is super, super free. And I'm hoping these picks hit. I got 3 unders for today. I got 1 over, which is a kicker. We have to cash that out so many times this season already. So those are usually pretty free as long as they're not an even line, in my opinion. But before I get into these picks here, I want to let you know about my Winnable. It's just a website in which I sell picks, and you can access this link down in the video description below because we have a full season college football NFL pass that you'll be able to access every single slip that I post for only $69 for the full season. So we did start at NFL preseason, went up 40 units for NFL preseason and week 0 of college football in August, and we're already up 12 units as of September 1st, and we still have a lot more slips cashing. I'm recording this during the weather delay for the Eagles-Cowboys game right now, and we're about to cash a lot of money for that game as well. So $69 for the full season pass. If you use code BEARS, BEARS, in caps, you do get $10 off, and there's only 2 spots left for that discount code. So you want to make sure you use that before it is too late and the price gets bumped up. So I also have a free Discord link also down in the video description below. If you join the VIP plans, you can access the slips here and chat with the members who are also part of the VIP pass. And then I also have a free plan right here. I post the free picks on the admin channel. I also have other admins as well. So make sure to don't join this if you're looking for only football, but I post on all other sports on the VIP 1 month. So everything besides football, I post on the VIP 1 month, probably around 1 to 2 slips as of right now until NBA starts. So I'm just posting WNBA for now. And then when NBA starts, I'll start to pick it up, post more slips on here. And I also want to show you guys some of my live lineups for the Dallas Eagles game. So here is a big time money slip, $25 to win 100. CeeDee Lamb, easy cash. Only needed 5 yards in the first quarter. Absolutely free. Dak Prescott easily hit his line as well in the first quarter. And then Jalen Hurts, man, I'm sure no one saw this pick and the value that Jalen Hurts had at 5.5 rush attempts goblin, because that goblin pick was actually bumped up to 7.5 a few hours before game time. So I'm telling you guys, I picked the best value. I'm always checking the board. And yeah, it's a really, really good slip there. I'm hoping that Osa doesn't get 2 tackles. I mean, the game's almost over. It's midway through the third quarter right now. So praying that that hits. But I also have slips on Fliff and Chalkboard as well. So if you're joining the VIP, make sure to have all 3 of those apps. But let's start these picks here. I know that's what you guys are here for the free picks. So first under of the day is going to be Noah Whittington for the Oregon Ducks. Now, this guy has historically never hit over this line, and it does help that they play a pretty good team in Oklahoma State. It's kind of confusing how he didn't hit his over versus a very, very bad team last week. Only had 68 rush and receiving yards. So let's go to Outlier to see his stats. Okay, on Outlier, Noah Whittington has hit under this line 14 of 14 games. It's a 100% hit rate in 2024 season. Obviously, this season, he only had 68 rushing yards, 0 receiving yards. Now, I understand that it was a blowout, but if you scroll down here for rush attempts, he had 10 rush attempts and only mustered 68 yards. So I really, really like this pick here as Oklahoma State's rush and receiving defense, rushing yards allowed, 116, ranked 68 in college football, and then receiving yards allowed there ranked 24. So that is pretty good combined rank there. And also, Outlier tracks line movement on Prizepicks. So it opened at 96.5 and has dropped down all the way to 90.5. Still think that is very solid value for Noah. And yeah, I mean, they do have several running backs they like to go through. So hopefully that Oregon is down, so they're going to have to throw the ball, which is unlikely because they're ranked and obviously they're historically a great team. But I mean, just the fact that he's never hit his over, I like this line a lot, and he's always been on the team. Yeah, I really like this pick here. So let's go to our second pick of the day. It's actually going to be the over for BYU. I'm actually a huge BYU fan, as you guys can see with the hats. We are locking in, paying people NIL. We are actually legit this year. Hopefully, we'll be ranked next week. But BYU kicker Will Ferrin, we're going to pick his over here versus Stanford. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Stanford lately, they have been an atrocious program. Players are just not great whatsoever. I mean, they lost to Hawaii, and Hawaii got blown out by Arizona, and BYU actually beat Arizona last year. So therefore, BYU will be able to cover the spread as well. So BYU spread opened at 18.5. Now it's bumped to 20.5. Why I say that is because it helps Will Ferrin's over more likely to hit. So 7.5 kicking points. Last game, he had 15 kicking points. Obviously, they played probably the worst college football team ever in Portland State. It was 69-0. Now, the starters were taken out in the first half. Could have been 100-0 or even more than that. So, yeah, I really like this line here. BYU is playing at home at night. Now, if you guys don't know BYU, at night games, they are like close to undefeated. I mean, I think they lost to Kansas last year, but they are really, really dominant at night on a weekend at home. So I know my team. I know that Stanford's not great. Quarterback barely threw for 100 yards. So I think BYU will have a field day this weekend, and his over will hit quite easily. So that is the second pick of the day. Let's go to Outlier to see his stats. Okay, so Will Ferrin has hit over this line 69%, 9 of 13 games last season. Like I said before, he had 15 kicking points this season so far. And Stanford's kicking point defense is ranked 125, which is very, very favorable for us. If you look at last season, the opponent's ranks are 88, 13, 88, and 1. So nowhere near close to at least 100 rank, which I really like to see that as well. So I think Will Ferrin will easily hit this over here. Now let's go to the third pick of the day. It's going to be Chase Hendricks for Ohio. Now he played pretty well last game. They played Rutgers, and he had 115 receiving yards, which is really, really good. I think they just had a field day versus Rutgers defense, but West Virginia's defense is going to lock Chase Hendricks down. He's the number one wide receiver, so if they need a double team, they can, but I think West Virginia got the win in the bag here. So we're going to pick the under at 71.5. Let's go to Outlier to see his stats. Okay, so last season, Chase Hendricks hit under this line 93%, 13 of 14 games. He had a really good game, barely hit the over versus a very crappy team, but they're playing a legit team in West Virginia, ranked 10 in receiving yards allowed, 10. I think Ohio's going to struggle in this game. I know they're playing at home, but like their fan base is not very big, not very scary house to play in or field. So it does help they pass and run half the time. He did get 12 targets last game, but I think they're down so much and they're just connecting also. Rutgers defense were pretty bad last week that they were able to go off, but I really just don't see it here versus West Virginia's defense. They are pretty dominant. So let's go to the fourth pick of the day. We're going to go with Kyron Jones. Now, this one is probably the most risky pick out of the four because he did hit over around 300 plus yards last year versus Vanderbilt, but good sign that he has never hit over any other game besides Vanderbilt. So I'm just hoping that Vanderbilt built their defense a lot better, and I'm hoping that he doesn't do it back-to-back years over versus Vanderbilt. So, yes, he did have 221 yards versus South Carolina, but they were losing the entire game, and he still couldn't hit over this line. So I like this pick here. I think it's a great matchup, and they're playing at Vanderbilt, so should be a really, really easy under here. And I watched the game, last game with Kyron Jones, and his wide receivers were dropping every single ball. I just don't think they have the hands to be able to help him a lot. They had absolute butterfingers the entire game, and it wasn't even wet. Like, no excuse. I just don't think their offense is very elite. But Kyron Jones does like to run the ball a lot, so that does help us hit the under there as well. So let's go to Outlier to see his stats. All right, so Kyron Jones hit under this line last season, 8 of 9 games. That's an 89% hit rate. Obviously, this was the season opener actually for Vanderbilt, so that's probably why they're a bit rusty there. They had Kyron Jones throw for 322 passing yards, which is a lot, but they are ranked number 17 in passing yards allowed at an average of 88. I think that's just because they played a very, very bad team, but allowing only 88 passing yards is actually kind of insane. No matter who you play, that is pretty low. And his line opened 10 yards higher at 237.5. So we are getting a little bit in a rut here that, we could have had 237. That would have been even more free, but I still like the under here. He's never hit this over besides the first game of last season. So let's lock this in. $5 to win $50. That is a 10x profit. So $45 profit there. Really, really like this 4-leg. And these lines are going to be way too high. I'm telling you, a lot of lines are going to be way too high to take for now. And then they're going to drop a little bit as weeks go on. So take the value now while you can. And hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys do, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. I always post one video for NFL and one video for college football. So make sure to lock this in for the Saturday slate. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.